I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with executives of two public companies. First up is ASP Isotopes. ASP Isotopes is emerging as a category-defining platform in the global critical minerals and isotope supply chain, transitioning from development to early commercialization with multiple revenue streams expected to scale in 2026. With several operating enrichment facilities in South Africa, the company is advancing toward initial commercial shipments of silicon-28, carbon-14, and ytterbium-176, each supporting high-value applications across semiconductors, nuclear medicine, and clean energy. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Up next is Alliance Entertainment. Alliance Entertainment is a leading distributor and fulfillment partner at the center of the entertainment and collectibles ecosystem. Serving more than 35,000 retail storefronts and 200 e-commerce platforms, the company offers more than 340,000 SKUs spanning vinyl, film, video games, licensed toys, and pop culture collectibles. Its capital-light platform leverages automation and scale to serve both traditional retail and fast-growing online channels. We'll learn more when we speak with the Senior Vice President of Sales later in the show. Before we move forward, let's take a look at RedChat, a revolutionary AI chatbot for small-cap stock analysis.
A new era of small-cap research has arrived with RedChip's RedChat, the fastest, most accurate AI assistant for small caps. The days of spending hours sifting through press releases, 10Ks, 10Qs, 8Ks, 13Fs, 13Gs, and other filings is over. Now, get answers in seconds on 4,000 small-cap stocks in one portal. Simple, fast, accurate, detailed answers. Meet small caps with RedChat.
RedChip. We build investor audiences for small cap companies, retail and institutional. 33 years, thousands of clients. We are experts in messaging. National TV ad campaigns, investor webinars, digital media, reaching hundreds of thousands of investors. RedChip. We do it well, we do it right, we do it big. RedChip. Call us or email us today.
Now, let's move on to our quote of the week. It comes from the book, Small Stocks, Big Money. If you want to invest in the microcap space, buy companies, not stocks. If you buy stocks, the daily fluctuations and lack of liquidity will drive you crazy. This quote comes from Byron Roth of Roth Capital, and it is featured in Chapter 7 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $21. Now, let's get started with our first interview today with ASP Isotopes. Hello, today we have Paul Mann, the CEO of ASP Isotopes, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker ASPI. Paul, welcome back.
Thank you for the interest. Good to be back.
Paul, for investors just discovering ASP Isotopes, let's start with a brief overview of the company and how it's addressing the growing global need for critical isotopes.
Yeah, so we expect to become a major supplier of critical materials to both the United States as well as other countries over the next several years. And we've built manufacturing plants in South Africa to enable things like next generation semiconductors, next generation nuclear medicine and nuclear fuels. And the goal is for these plants to come on stream in the next sort of year or two and it helps some of these supply chain problems the world is seeing right now.
As you just intimated, Paul, you're targeting three major verticals: electronics, nuclear medicine, and nuclear energy. How big are these market opportunities?
Yeah, quite substantial, actually. I mean, the nuclear energy industry is obviously vast. We've spoken to customers who combined need over $38 billion in nuclear fuels over the next 10 years. So that's a very, very significant market. Others are much nicher and much smaller. Carbon-14, for example, is likely a $2.5 to $5 million market. So they vary in size, but in aggregate, they're generally pretty significant.
You've already built 3 enrichment facilities in South Africa. What's the current status of your commercialization efforts?
Yeah, so the 3 plants you mentioned, they're all different stages. So Carbon-14 plant was actually constructed about a year and a half ago. We're waiting for our feedstock for the last almost 2 years now. It's good. The good news is the feedstock is on its way, and that plant should start commercial production during the second quarter. Deliveries around the middle of the year this year. While we've been waiting for our feedstock, we've been processing carbon-12. So we know the plant works and it's operating as we'd like it to. And carbon-12 isn't really a large market right now, but it could become a large market in years to come. And then for ytterbium-176, that plant shipped commercial samples in September of last year. We're waiting for our continuous processing vessel to be finished before we can really start producing large quantities of ytterbium, and that should be around the middle of this year as well. In terms of helium, not necessarily an isotope, but another critical material, we've completed the drilling of the wells there, and the plant is complete. We're just connecting the wells to the plant. That should start producing product during the third quarter of this year.
Paul, with more than $300 million in cash and substantial capital raised, how well funded are you to execute on this growth strategy?
You're actually very well funded right now. And so of the capital that we have in the balance sheet today, we expect to invest about $170 million into the phase 2 of our large liquid helium plant in South Africa. And then, a few more isotope plants, each of which is sort of $5 to $10 million piece. So we're very well capitalized right now. And obviously, our helium plant is going to benefit from almost $750 million of loans from the US government and from a bank. So yeah, we're very well capitalized right now.
Paul, you've outlined a target of more than $300 million in EBITDA by 2031. What are the key drivers that get you there?
Yes, so there are a number of drivers there. So we'd expect to do between $150 and $300 million electronic gases, $100 and $200 million in natural gas, and $40 to $100 million in medical isotopes, and the same again in radiopharmaceuticals. Obviously, there's some ranges there. I don't know what the price of helium is going to be in 2030 or natural gas. That can swing things quite dramatically. For example, helium prices are biased higher right now, given what's going on in the Middle East. And I don't know if that's going to stay or not, but right now we'll be looking much more towards the high end rather than the low end on that product.
Looking over the next 12 to 18 months, Paul, what are the most important milestones investors should be watching?
Yeah, obviously we expect to start up, four plants in South Africa, 3 for isotopes, 1 for helium, start producing commercial products and selling commercial products, and that will obviously allow us to start generating free cash flow. That's the most important catalyst or event over the next sort of 12 to 18 months. In addition to that, we'll start constructing additional plants, isotope plants in Iceland, in the UK, and in the United States, as well as a very, very large helium plant in South Africa.
Final question, Paul. What is the essential value proposition? Why should investors take an interest in ASP Isotopes right now?
The world is suffering from shortages of many different critical materials, including isotopes and helium. And we aim to solve a lot of these supply chain problems over the next several years. And assuming we can do that, that should generate substantial returns for our investors. And that, in my view, is the main value proposition.
Paul, it's a great story. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you for your interest.
Now, to get more information on ASP Isotopes, visit aspiinfo.com. You can subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like ASP Isotopes. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies. And you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy on Amazon today for just $21. Before we move forward, let's take a look at RedChat, a revolutionary AI chatbot for small-cap stock analysis.
A new era of small cap research has arrived with RedChip's RedChat, the fastest, most accurate AI assistant for small caps. The days of spending hours sifting through press releases, 10Ks, 10Qs, 8Ks, 13Fs, 13Gs, and other filings is over. Now, get answers in seconds on 4,000 small cap stocks in one portal. Simple, fast, accurate, detailed answers. Meet small caps with RedChat.
RedChip. We build investor audiences for small cap companies, retail and institutional. 33 years, thousands of clients. We are experts in messaging. National TV ad campaigns, investor webinars, digital media, reaching hundreds of thousands of investors. RedChip. We do it well, we do it right, we do it big. RedChip. Call us or email us today.
Now, let's move on to our next interview today with Alliance Entertainment. Hello, today we have Ken Glazer, the Senior Vice President of Sales at Alliance Entertainment, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker AENT. Ken, welcome to the show.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Alliance Entertainment is a major player in the entertainment and collectibles ecosystem. Where does the independent retail business fit within the broader Alliance platform, Ken, and why is it strategically important?
Yeah. When you look at Alliance as a whole, we really operate as a platform, connecting content to our consumers across many different channels, whether that's large national retailers, e-commerce, or direct to consumers. Independent retail, it fits right at the center of the whole thing, quickly becoming one of our more meaningful channels by volume. And more importantly, it's where we see new demand take shape early. These are stores that are really close to their customers, curating what goes on the shelf, often the first place where you see products start to work. From a strategic standpoint, it gives us a real advantage. We get early signs on trends, we see what's resonating, and we can take those insights and scale them across our broader business. As a whole, the strength of this channel really plays an important role in the entire system.
Now, Ken, independent retail is often viewed as a niche channel. Why do you believe it remains so influential within the music and collectibles ecosystem?
I think the simple answer is it's not just retail, it's part of a community. These stores aren't just selling products, they're places where people gather, they discover music, and people connect with each other in these stores. These are stores that know their customers, know their community, they understand their local scene, they're curating their inventory based on those relationships. These stores also play a major role in supporting local artists, hosting events, creating experiences that go just beyond buying something. The level of connection is something you can't really replicate online or at scale. And because of that, they've become tastemakers with great influence. What builds locally in these stores often carries into the broader market over time.
Ken, what are you seeing today in terms of demand trends across independent retailers, and what does that tell you about the overall health of the physical media and collectibles market?
We definitely see strong and consistent demand, which is a good sign. The independent retail business has been growing year over year, and you still have those big moments like Record Store Day, where many stores are having their best days ever. What's interesting is not just those spikes, though. We're seeing steady movement across catalog, reissues, and new releases throughout the year. When you combine that with new store openings and younger customers coming in, it points to a channel that's active, expanding, not someone that's just holding on.
Let's delve into that a little bit more, Ken. Why does independent retail continue to matter so much in a world that, of course, is dominated by e-commerce and large chains?
Right. It really comes down to the experience. It's just different. It's a more personal experience, as I mentioned. Customers trust the store. It's going in and visiting the guy you really know. You're not walking into a national retailer that has a new clerk every week. They're discovering product in a different way and interacting with it physically. As I mentioned previously, it's really about the discovery community, curating the experience, and that's really hard to replicate online. And also, as I mentioned, the younger consumer comes into these stores. It's not just legacy consumers anymore. It's continuing to refresh itself, which I think is really important for the long-term health of this channel of business.
But you do work with some of the largest retailers in the world. So, how does supporting an independent retailer differ from supporting a major national account?
Yes, it's a very different approach. The independent retail community and the way that we support them is much more hands-on. With our independent retailers, it's about our relationships with them. Our sales team is constantly working with stores to provide them with what I call the lifeline of the industry. These stores cannot buy direct from major manufacturers oftentimes, and it's up to our sales team to provide proper information, assortment, planning around new releases, and making sure that these stores are set up for success. So for us, it's not just about fulfillment, it's about a partnership with these stores. And that's a big differentiator for us with independent retail.
Ken, you mentioned Record Store Day. Let's talk about that a little bit. What role does Record Store Day and exclusive content play in driving the independent retail business?
Sure. They're a huge driver. Record Store Day in April and Record Store Day Black Friday are two of the biggest moments of the year at independent retail. They drive a lot of traffic into stores. But what's really changed is it's happening year round now. There's events like listening parties, album release events, in store with artists that are happening throughout the year, keeping their customers engaged. I've mentioned previously, younger consumers are coming into these stores, driven by artists like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, as example. Artists are starting to lean into the excitement at independent retail by offering exclusive content, exclusive versions and variants, which creates collectability and scarcity. And that's what really is driving the demand here.
Now, just to reiterate, it's a trend from consumption of media toward collectability and ownership. Alliance is always talking about that. You've been mentioning it. Tell us again, how are independent retailers benefiting from that trend?
Right. So it actually plays directly into their strengths. Independent retailers are really great at telling the story behind the product. These are people that love the product that they sell, whether it's a limited release, an exclusive content, or something tied to an artist or moment. So for us, as the business shifts more towards ownership and collectability, that makes these stores even more relevant because they're built around the collector mindset.
Now, Ken, you've mentioned this a few times in the interview today, but I want to, for our final question, focus on it one more time. When you look across the entire business, Alliance's entire business, what insights or advantages does the independent retail channel provide that help drive success for your company's overall operations?
Right. So it gives us a really good feel for what's happening in the market. So for us, that's a real edge. We get direct feedback from the stores. We're seeing what's moving, what's not moving, and where the demand is building. And really, independent retail provides early signals on what's working and a deeper connection to the market overall. We use that to improve how we operate our business, whether it's forecasting inventory or a go-to-market strategy. It just really helps us stay more responsive, get ahead of the demand, and execute more efficiently across the entire business.
Ken, great talking to you today. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
To get more information on Alliance Entertainment, visit aentinfo.com. You can subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-REDCHIP to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com featuring emerging growth companies like Alliance Entertainment. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money. That's a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy on Amazon today for just $21. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met ASP Isotopes, ASPI, on the NASDAQ. ASP Isotopes is emerging as a category-defining platform in the global critical materials and isotope supply chain, transitioning from development to early commercialization, with multiple revenue streams expected to scale in 2026. With several operating enrichment facilities in South Africa, the company is advancing toward initial commercial shipments of silicon-28, carbon-14, and ytterbium-176, each supporting high-value applications across semiconductors, nuclear medicine, and clean energy. Learn more at aspiinfo.com. Then, you met Alliance Entertainment, AENT, on the NASDAQ. Alliance Entertainment is a leading distributor and fulfillment partner at the center of the entertainment and collectibles ecosystem. Serving more than 35,000 retail storefronts and 200 e-commerce platforms, the company offers more than 340,000 SKUs spanning vinyl, film, video games, licensed toys, and pop culture collectibles. Its capital-light platform leverages automation and scale to serve both traditional retail and fast-growing online channels. Learn more at aentinfo.com. Don't forget to check out our stocks page. It is the biggest small-cap stock portal in the industry. It has every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market caps of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industry. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small-cap companies. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies. And you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies. So please, always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting, emerging growth companies.
Hello, my name is Paul Mann, and I'm the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, ASP Isotopes. We trade on NASDAQ under the ticker code ASPI. ASP Isotopes is trying to solve a number of supply chain issues in the critical materials sector, particularly isotopes and helium. We've built 3 manufacturing plants in South Africa for isotopes and 1 for liquid helium, and we expect these plants to come on stream and start producing commercial product during 2026. Isotopes are used in many end markets, such as next generation semiconductors, nuclear medicine, and nuclear fuel. We expect to be involved in all of those industries in the future. In addition, helium is required for electronics and rocketry. We have a very, very large resource of helium in South Africa. For more information on our company, please visit our website, aspiisotopes.com.
A new era of small cap research has arrived with RedChip's RedChat, the fastest, most accurate AI assistant for small caps. The days of spending hours sifting through press releases, 10Ks, 10Qs, 8Ks, 13Fs, 13Gs, and other filings is over. Now, get answers in seconds on 4,000 small cap stocks in one portal. Simple, fast, accurate, detailed answers. Meet small caps with RedChat.
RedChip. We build investor audiences for small cap companies, retail and institutional. 33 years, thousands of clients. We are experts in messaging. National TV ad campaigns, investor webinars, digital media, reaching hundreds of thousands of investors. RedChip. We do it well, we do it right, we do it big. RedChip. Call us or email us today.
Autonomous robotic systems that can map a battlefield, underground mine, or collapsing tunnel without GPS, prior maps, or a pilot are critical to military, defense, and industrial operations. Meet XN, a NASDAQ company, stock symbol EXYN, developing AI software that lets drones map dangerous places without a pilot. Customers include global mining operators, recent defense engagements with the U.S. government, customers, and partners. XN Technologies, NASDAQ EXYN.
The market opportunity for low-carbon fuels is enormous, sitting at the intersection of global energy demand and decarbonization policy, a multi-$100 billion market opportunity. Now meet Abundia, NYSE American, a GIG, led by industry experts from Exxon, GE, and the former CFO of Aer Lingus, leveraging a groundbreaking technology, converting waste plastics into sustainable aviation fuel. Facility in Texas under development, capable of generating $700 million in potential revenue within its first 5 years. Abundia.